Pascal.
Hello, how are you? Good, perfect.
Fine, me too. We are here today in a typical Switzerland studio.
Yes.
In Neuchâtel. It is called
Dump Studio.
Dump Studios.
Yes.
Yes. And I want to know a little bit some things like your history. How do you start all of this? Something about the studio, in what you are now working, and how is the extent of music in Switzerland for musicians, for studios.
Okay. First, I have started music really early. I was 5 years old. I don't talk about the next 15 years old after that. And after that, I've been in Paris to do a musical school, and there I have met the scene of Paris in the music. And I realized after some moment in my music school that I was not really ready to be a pianist, but I was more ready to be a producer and sound engineer. And there, my school was in Pigalle in Paris, and there was all the shop for the machine, for the studio, the microphone, and all that. And I was 20 years old, and I decided to open my first studio next to Neuchâtel when I was 20 years old. And directly I have some work, directly I love that, and directly it was, I was ready to work for my life in this. And after that I made many studios, and this is my last one, my studio that I made like 10 years ago now. And I'm really happy about the configuration and the digital analog world, and all is mixed, and because I think both worlds are really important. Today we cannot only think analog, and we cannot only think digital. And yeah, now what I like to do is producing, recording, composing for many artists. And in Switzerland the market is, I think you have to make your market. There is no really, because it's always like that, when a Swiss band have the money to do a big album, they don't stay in Switzerland, they go in UK or they go in USA, because they think that it will be better there. And now me, I have always produced, I have a record label called Dump Music, like a dump studio for the studio at Dump Music. And I have always produced from now, from 2001, I made a 65 album of, I love reggae. Reggae is my, I produce Lee Scratch Perry, the old guy, he's like the Miles Davis of the reggae.
Okay.
Yeah, he made the reggae. Before it was the ska and the rocksteady, and he did the slow down the tempo, and he made the reggae. He have produced all the album of Bob Marley. He's a really, and I produced one of his last album with a friend, and it was really a big experience. I work with Moonrisers. I just finished this weekend after a long work. The last album of Moonrisers is a singer who did Rise Up with Yves Larocque. And I produce another reggae guy, French, called Junior Chaka. Many artists like that, rock, hip-hop, dance. Really, I touch to every kind of music. And I mean, is what I said before, you have to make your market. You have to, yeah, you have to build the music somewhere. People don't come to you in Switzerland like that. You have to prove something, to be in radio with some band, to be in live, in the big festival. But the music scene in Switzerland is huge. There is a lot of money. There is, I think, 1,000 festivals in Switzerland, more than in every country in the world, I think. It's like every weekend you have 2 to 5 to 10 festivals in Switzerland, and I mean big festival. People like to listen music. People, yeah, there is a big market in Switzerland with music.
Mm-hmm. I have some questions.
Yes.
The first of all, is this your biggest studio you have ever?
Yes. Yes.
And who built it?
We built it with my colleague Thierry and with Santiago Fernandez of MTech. From the beginning, I work with him, and he's always. We was always together from very long time. I don't remember when we meet, but yeah, always. I push him in the studio, you know, really. I said one day he was working in other things, and I say, man, you have to make your job with that. You have to build studio, and it's not easy. And now we have non-stop work.
Other question is, why reggae? Why is so important reggae in Switzerland? Because when you think in reggae, you think in
Jamaica.
People in beaches.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
So this is cold. There are a lot of mountains. There are not any sea, but reggae is very important in this country. Why?
There is a really big scene from very long time in Neuchâtel of reggae, and I'm part of it. I don't know why. Because for me, reggae is a very complex style of music. It looks easy, but it's really complex. It's not easy to do reggae. It's easy to do rock, it's easy to do pop, but reggae, there is some chord on it, and some style that it's normally is not for white people. And the Jamaican called the white spliff is the people, the white Rasta people, and
yeah.
they call them the white spliff. We are white spliff, really, but we love reggae. And when Liz Catchberry come to my studio to make some reggae, and that he is really happy, and people all around the world say that it's one of the best album of reggae ever of Liz Catchberry, I think we're not only white spliff now.
Yeah, you are right.
Yeah, because it's Liz Catchberry. He's like he's the god of reggae today. He's like there is many people, but Liz Catchberry was really a precursor to do really. He produced the Congos. He produced with Blackwell. He produced everything. Like really, he was really like Miles Davis, who did the cool jazz. He did the cool ska, and it was reggae at the end. He's really one guy who made a style that don't die even today.
What do you think that it is the most difficult
in reggae?
In the reggae.
Reggae is easy to play, but it's a lot of element inside. Nobody do one chord and stay on the chord. All people do. In reggae, every instrument is a percussion. There is no pram. Is cha, 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 the Hammond, percussion, taka, 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 and there is a lot of instrument, and there is horn, there is backing vocals, there is just in the rhythm section maybe 7 musicians to do that. In rock you can be 3, drum, bass, guitar, and vocal. That's it. But in reggae 3, I don't remember.
It's not the usual.
No, it doesn't exist.
And do you record them at the same time?
On the same time, on the same moment?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's depending for which song, and it's depending for the project. But today I like most of the time I like to record people live. But today people don't have time to rehearsal anymore, and they come from all around the world just for a recording. You do 4 days, and they don't have time to be all together and to rehearsal. And now is more we do the drum, we do the bass, and 1 people each time.
And audio processing of reggae music, it's a genre that really needs a lot of processing.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For example?
It's really a very, for mixing is really hard because it's really processed. If you listen some reggae from the 70s, they was the first to use all the phaser, flanger, delay, the dub come from there, you know, you take a track, the track is done, finish, and after you decompose the track, you mute this, you put delay, you put reverb. It's really, I think it's one of the most important, I can say that in a reggae, the mixing can be an art. In the rest of the music, it must be transparent. We don't talk about the sound of the. We talk about the song, we talk about the artist, but we never talk about the mixing team. In the reggae, the mixing team is really important. You put effect everywhere. Hi-hat is not a hi-hat. You have to process to the have phaser. The snare must be and everything is really processed. Really, is the most processed music ever you can find. There is no more processed music that you can find. The rest is just easy to do. Reggae is the most difficult music to mix.
It's a genre that use more analog or more digital equipment?
No rule. No rule. No. There was really one new machine come, they buy it, they use it until the end, they try it, they discover it, they use it. They just don't use like the reverb to put on the voice and nice. They put all the parameter on the maximum and they put all the music inside and they touch and it's really the dub music. It's really difficult. It's really difficult, and there is some code in the reggae. It's really hard to do. Really, they made a style that is still not die today. Reggae is still there from long time, and there is not a lot of kind of music who stays so long. You can check. The grunge was in the 90s. The grunge is dead today. The disco was in the 70s. The disco is dead today. The funk was in the 70s, 80s. The funk is dead today. Now it's all mixed, but the reggae is still there. It's really something that don't die. And Bob Marley is still there, still the huge seller in the world of reggae. It's like a big market. There is festival only for reggae. It's like a kind of metal, you know. Metal have the same kind of people and code. You know, there is big festival of metal. There is big festival everywhere in the world. There is a people who go to this kind of music, and many festivals that I know mixed one day metal and one day reggae. There is something in that.
Maybe they will do a merge.
Not a merge, but they really respect each other.
But it could be funny to do a merge.
Yeah, it's not easy because it's not the same code, but with my reggae band, we've been one time with Moonrisers, we've been in festival in France that it was a metal festival, and every year they take a reggae band, and it's all the big star of metal, and they always take one reggae band, and I don't know why, but the people was so nice, and you know, they come with the you know, the metal piercing tattoo, and they come to you, hello, how are you? So nicely. It's like, wow, okay. Yeah, no, and reggae is really something that I like. It's really hard to mix. It's really hard to mix. A lot of track.
How many tracks?
How many?
How many tracks?
For reggae?
For a session of...
Already is a big drum. I will say there is some timbales, there is some bell, there is a lot of cymbal and stuff, a hi-hat, tom. Already, I will say 18 tracks for the drum. After there is all the percussion. I will say 3 congas, it's depending of the song, of course. There is some shaker, there is some tambourine, there is some cabasa, there is some small percussion, wood block and stuff like that. After there is the bass, of course, the bass. And after that there is the skunk guitar, after there is the cocotte, the stereo one is mean 2. After there is some rhythm guitar normal with chord and stuff like that. After there is the Hammond. After there is the piano. There is some effect, other keyboard, clavinet, all percussive instrument like a keyboard one like that. After there is all the horn section. They can be 4, 5, is depending the horn section. After there is all the backing vocal. And after there is a voice, the overdub, the FX, and yes, big session.
So you use mainly the Pro Tools as the mixer, and then maybe you make stems and mix them in with the.
I like to do, because for this record particular in this example, I like to mix when I record.
During the recording, you are mixing.
Yeah, I do the sound already there. It means that if I take my drum, I put the drum up. And the sound is already like I want for this song.
But sometimes you need to hear all the instruments.
I hear it already.
In the moment. Okay,
no, because I know what I want.
Because you know.
Yes.
But they are playing.
No. Just because I have composed a song. We did a small demo song, and I know already what I want, and I take the decision when I record. And like
so you mix in the Genesis and record
it like that, and after it's come back in the stereo, boom, and that's it. I take many you know, it's always like that. You can record with not asking you what it will be in the mix, but you lost your time like that. You have to take the decision now. It's like when you wake up on the morning, you decide what you will put, like some clothes. You not stay naked until the night. Somewhere is something like that. You have to take the decision. Okay, today I put this T-shirt. Today I put this pant. Today I put these shoes. And when you record, you have to say, okay, this is a slow track. Okay, we need fat sound. We need a smaller hi-hat. We need big toms. I take the decision now to record them like that. Many big albums are made like that. It's really European to record flat and to see that after in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah. In US they never do like that. They do the sound when they record with the band or even alone, and after that in UK too, and many people in Europe do that too. But in general, people in Europe record flat and they take the decision later. It's like if there is this very famous sentence. We will see that in the mastering, you know. Yeah. Somewhere they say we will see that in the mix.
Yeah.
But I prefer to say I see that now on the recording.
And you are echoing and compressing during the record.
Exactly. I can open the drum sound like that. I just put all the fader to 0, and you hear already the 95% of the sound of the drum that will be on the record.
So when you put the mix in the instruments, you put them to hear the more similar that you want. For example, you don't need to do so many EQ adjust and to have faders very long distance between them, because you are making the sound from the beginning with the microphones.
I will say for reggae you use the EQ a lot, like -18, maximum +18 all the time. You really process the sound. It's never flat. If I do some jazz, of course the micro and the instrument is really important. In the reggae, it's more the processing that we'll do on it that is important.
But you don't prefer to get a microphone that you know that it has.
Yeah, of course I choose microphone who do already the job on the beginning. But after that you process so much the sound that somewhere you can use 57, sure.
And you have a 16 channel with EQ and compressor.
Yeah.
And you record the stem, the stereo of. So you are, for example.
I record both. I record the stereo one and I record also the track. each one.
Okay.
Like that I have, if I did something wrong, I will never, for example, on the record, I will never put some gate. Because if I miss one hit because the gate was not open, this is a problem. I will never record gate, maybe a small expander or stuff like that, of course, to clean a little the sound, but I will never go too much in something that after I regret. I will do a normal sound, and after that when I mix it, I finish with the 10% of it. Like, okay, I will be more extreme on this, more extreme on that, and etc.
Well, I think that we speak a lot of your workflow.
Yeah.
So, what about the Genesis? What could you say me about the Genesis? Why did you choose that console? What other consoles have you got?
I choose it because I think it's the best in the world now.
But you hear on test before?
Okay, we don't have to talk about the sound of Neve. I think is the best in the world. There is three different desks: SSL, clean, clinic. If you don't have gear, don't use an SSL. It's just a white room. That's it. Nothing's arriving.
It's sterile, aseptic.
Yeah, it's a clinical sound SSL. If you don't have a out gear, board, compressor and stuff like that, normally people use an SSL just for like a mixer. They sometimes use the EQ, but in the compressor and stuff like that, they always use the rest. After you have EPI, that is more rock sound and stuff like that. And after, I think if you check just the market, I think people just jump all the time on Neve product. The old one, the new one, is just the best reference in the world for preamp. It's just the best in EQ. If you ask to anyone what is your dream, is always UK sound all the time. It can be EMI from the studio, it can be Chandler's, it can be all this old reference in the sound, Neve, and after that, I think it's a cook place, like a studio. You don't use always the same paper, salt and stuff, spice and stuff like that. You like to, but in general, you like one sound, and I think for me, Neve is the sound that made my history. I love Pink Floyd, I love Genesis, I love all this kind of thing. Okay, Genesis, the studio of Genesis was with SSL on it, of course, but I like UK sound a lot for the gear, and Neve came with this desk in a kind of fresh, and what is hard today is to do analog sound, and because people come back to you and say, okay, there is too much bass, there is this, there is this, there is this, after the mix. And you are like, oh my god, okay, recall time, and you go in something horrible. And analog, it will be never exactly 2 times the same. It's like a piece of meat is changing all the time. Even if you cook it the same, analog is a little bit the same. There was a magical moment when you do your mix, and that's it. With this, you can recall all the EQ, all the compressor, all the routing, all the preamp setting. Everything of the desk can be recallable instantly. And all the moving potentiometer, you just come back in the position that the screen asks to you. This means that you can really come back in a record session on the drum. You can come back on a mix, you can come back on a mastering, you can come back, but I mean now, even faster than the Pro Tools session open, is now. And this with no digital sound on it. It means that it's really an instant recall, like with VCA on analog gear. It means it's like if your analog gear was moving along.
It's digital controlled.
Exactly.
It's analog digital controlled.
Exactly. by VCA for this, and you have a nice automation mode. You can all your fader just for the DAW and control. You have a screen, just that, the screen in the middle of the desk, in the middle of what you hear. It's not on the side, you know, just have the sound on the left here, and after you come back and oh my god, it's more loud on the right. Oh no, it's just because my left ear is tired, you know. And or just the position, and after that you have this desk. You just use one firewire cable for your computer on, and you record. All the converters are inside, and the converters are amazing. The Pro Tools don't convert. Oh, I have 64 in, 64 out with this desk, just with one MADI cable to my Pro Tools. It means that Pro Tools do nothing, and Neve control completely the digital domain from a long time. They made it, you know, in 2000, around the 2000 before. They made a really nice converter. I think, yeah, it's amazing desk. It's amazing desk.
And you have only 16 channels physically.
Yeah.
There are 16 channels. But you sometimes need to record more tracks.
Yeah, I have other preamp behind. I can go until 32 recording process time on the same time, and I have other key. I have compressor and stuff like that. I can do what I want somewhere. And the desk I have a 16 channel, but I have also in this channel, I will say 16 track. But inside there is 16 channel and 16 monitor channel. It means that I can record more than 16 track.
And did you ever thought to get more channels?
Yeah, you can with this desk.
Yeah, but you ever thought to purchase other channels?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
In the future?
Yeah, I would like to put more 16 channel on it.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and it's not all the time that you can expand your desk. You know? Today you buy a desk, normally it's done.
Yeah.
There you can expand it. It's like 8 track. You can put the EQ and the compressor after. You can, because it's really, they did a really clever way to do a desk today in the 2018. It's like, and they sell it a lot. Really. Too many kind of composer, musician, mixer, producer, because you cannot find this in the rest, and it's built like a tank. It's not a, I like SSL for example, but for me the AWS series is like a joke. It's not an SSL. It's joke. It's like there is no headroom. There is no. Yeah, all here is made to work with Pro Tools or the DAW. The view meter are in coloration in the same view meter that in Pro Tools. All is when you are on the maximum level on your analog track, you are on the maximum level on your digital track.
Yeah.
And this is like there is no desk like that. It's like you cannot find it. It's like. You have always to find a way to work with all desk and Pro Tools. You have to calibrate everything.
Translate both words.
Yeah, completely. And then no, you just plus 27 dB.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of headroom. It's like boom.
Yeah. It supports 27 dBs.
Yeah. It's like a lot, and the ratio for the noise is like solo. It's like you can open everything, you have no noise. It's like wow, and you can record your stems directly. For example, drum, bass, all the guitar, the voice. You have a two-track output where you can remove the voice. For example, in one pass you can record your stems. You can record the instrumental, and you can record your mix on the same time. You have like the monitor section is like the same of the board. Sorry, is the same that the big VR. I don't remember the name of the Neve. The VR 72. No, I don't remember the name now. The big board they have, The monitoring section is amazing. You have subgroup that you don't have on any AWS 900. You have no subgroup. It's like, wow. You have 2 insert by track. You can put the insert on the monitor pass, on the channel pass. You have 1 EQ, 1 comp that you recall very easy. Yeah, it's like there is no end on this desk. You can really mix. There is direct output on each track. You can put on monitor direct output. You can put the channel on monitor direct output. You can insert on the group pre-post fader. You have aux send on the group. You have the reverb back with the wild knobs. With everything is like so. Until the end. I don't see a lot of things that miss on this desk. And you can have it until 64 track. It can be a boat. Okay, I will call Neve for that because I do them a good commercial.
Marketing.
Yeah, marketing. Yeah.
I have 3 questions to end the interview, and I think that next we can have a tour in the studio to see how the machines, how do you use them, and the facilities. Okay, the 3 questions is it possible today to live about music here in Switzerland?
Yes, for sure.
But are you having a good life, or maybe?
Yeah, I have a best life that you can find. I do music all the time.
So here the music scene is powerful.
Yeah, because I say I made my market.
Yeah.
I don't wait for client. I produce all the time, and I try to produce music that sell. And it's like you can wait or you can do, and I do. From 65 album alone in producing, composing, etc. with band is a lot. It's really a lot of track.
Another question is, how do you think that will be the future in the music? In the studios and the music?
The studio come back a lot. For many years people have seen that with just a computer and some YouTube tutorial people can do good song, but no. If you check every big production, there is always people who know how to work in the music industry. There is a music school and engineer school all around the world, more and more and more. There is a big market. There is more media than before. There is more radio. There is more TV. There is more broadcasting. There is more movie. There is more. Everything is more. I think there is no end in the media producing, and I think there is a lot of work. We see big company like Neve, like SSL, always selling big stuff, and do some evolution in how to work, how to sell, how to make. There is some big shop who sell all the time. There is speakers. There is. I think there is no. It was never a better moment than now for this kind of producing.
And market.
Yeah, market. There is. Yes, now is more than ever, and it will be always more and more. But the big studio come back.
Yeah.
People at home, they can do stuff, but at the end they need professional people. They need a material who is professional. There is no big hits today that was not in analog world. It doesn't exist really. Before or after, even if it's mixed in the box, before there was some microphone, there was some drum. You need to record. I mean, we are already in the analog world. Even the big, I don't know, Martin Garrix song or electro song, like Daft Punk, they mix in a big Neve at the end. There is always a part of analog and studio inside. Me, I record a lot of electronic music, and people come just to record a voice. and because I have some good material on this and some practice on this, and they cannot do that at home.
Yeah.
With a horrible reflection in the room, with not good preamp and good mic and good facilities somewhere. And I think today you must be polyvalent.
Yeah.
One guy want to record everything. You must say yes to everything. There is no rule in the recording industry today. One guy wants to do like that. Okay, let's do like that. And that's it.
And my last question is maybe a funny question, because every time I end an interview I ask for a funny thing that happens in the studio, in your life, in the music, but funny in positive terms, something that could make us to laugh.
So many. I think the most funny thing I made in the studio is one. If I record a singer, for example, and she starts to laugh for any reason, I put a delay on it, a huge delay with no end. And she hear her laugh again and again, and she laugh again and again and again, and non-stop until she remove the headphone because it's too much. This is always a very funny moment when a guy is on the mic and you put a delay on it, and you hear his voice again and again, because, for example, you do haha, and you hear haha, and he's making him laugh again and again and again, and he see me laughing, and
It's a feedback.
Yeah, many times. It's like really a funny moment with audio world, this kind of thing. And after, for what's happened all the time is I talk with the guy on the studio who is recording, and I talk to him, I explain the direction and etc. etc. And after that I just have a big meaning in what I was saying, and after that I realized that my talkback is closed. For example, this kind of thing, and I just see the guy, and the strange thing is sometimes that I feel that the guy understands me, but no, he was not hearing me at any point, you know, like, and I say, okay, and I click the button, sorry, I was talking alone, and sometimes and the guy just wait, because he thinks that I talk on the phone or something like that. It's funny. And after that, yeah, funny moment is all the time when something don't go like you want with musician, and they try and they explode in love,
Yeah.
and there's like boom boom, so they just fall on something, or the musician and stuff like that. Like yeah, I think music is really a good food for the spirit.
Yeah.
And
For
I like positive.
For the mental.
Yeah, and even melancholic or sad song can really give you good feeling.
Good vibration.
Yeah, good vibration. And
like
for
the Beach Boys.
yeah,
Good vibration.
yeah, and for me, just working in the music makes me happy all the time. I'm never been in depression with that.
Yeah.
It's like a good medicine.
Okay, so let's have
A small tour.
A small tour in your studio, and we will talk about your equipment and how do you use it. Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so let's go.